I'm 81 years old. People call me successful. They say it with that tone, like it explains everything, like it erases the rest. I don't correct them anymore. I let the words sit between us, heavy and useless. I built companies. I signed papers that changed cities I never lived in. I retired with more money than my father ever imagined touching. And I am telling you this as a man who failed at the only things that were never supposed to be optional. Here is the part nobody prepares you for. Success doesn't crash into your life. It seeps in, quiet, reasonable. It asks for small trades at first, one dinner, one weekend, one promise postponed. And by the time you realize what it has taken, there's nothing left to bargain with. They told me to be patient, to endure, to suffer now so I could live later. They said love would understand, family would wait, time would be flexible. That was the lie. Her name was Anna, my daughter. She used to wait by the window when I came home late, even when she was half asleep, pressing her forehead to the glass like she was afraid I'd disappear if she blinked. I didn't see it then. I see it every night now. I told myself a noble story for decades. I said I was doing it for them. That being a good father meant paying every bill before it arrived. That being a good husband meant never letting fear touch our home. I thought sacrifice was love's highest form. I wore exhaustion like a badge. I missed birthdays with apologies wrapped in gifts. I missed school plays with promises of the next one, and every time I left, I said the same sentence. Just a little more, just one more push, then I'll be present. There was a moment I truly believed I had won. I remember it clearly. The house, big, quiet, perfectly organized, the kind of place people photograph, not live in. I stood in the empty living room holding the keys, feeling taller than I ever had. I thought, this is it. I have secured us. I didn't notice that my daughter no longer ran to show me her drawings. I didn't notice my wife stopped telling me small things, the unimportant details that are actually the glue of a life. I didn't notice because the machine doesn't allow noticing. You wake up, you run, you sleep, you call that discipline, you call that adulthood. You tell yourself tomorrow is guaranteed because you are responsible, and tomorrow keeps moving away like a horizon. The wheel keeps spinning. Promotions, deadlines, travel, applause from strangers, and you keep saying later. Later becomes a habit. Later becomes a language your family learns to speak without you. The moment everything stopped wasn't dramatic. No sirens, no collapse. It was a Tuesday. I came home early for once. The house was silent, not peaceful, abandoned. On the kitchen table was a box I didn't recognize. Inside it were things Anna had left behind when she moved out years earlier. And at the bottom was a folded piece of paper, a drawing, crayon, faded, me, her, a sun in the corner. The date was written in a crooked hand. She was 6. On the back, in pencil, almost erased, were words that hollowed me out. Daddy will come next time. I sat there for a long time holding that paper like it could explain where 40 years went. That was the moment I understood the truth I had been outrunning. There is no finish line where the people you love are waiting with patience and forgiveness in their pockets. They live in the time you give them. When you don't, they grow without you. Love doesn't scream when it's neglected. It adapts. And adaptation is how distance becomes permanent. I had built something impressive, and I had built it on borrowed time that I could never repay. I hid behind a virtue for most of my life. It sounded noble, responsible, unquestionable. I told myself that being a good man meant being reliable, that love was proven in numbers, in stability, in never letting the lights go out or the fridge go empty. I believed my worth was measured by how much pressure I could carry without breaking. I truly thought that self-sacrifice was the highest form of love, that if I exhausted myself enough, the people I loved would feel safe, even if they barely saw me. I confused presence with provision. I confused silence with strength. And because society applauded that version of me, I never questioned it. Every time I missed a moment, I told myself the same story. I'm doing this for them. This pain has a purpose. One day they'll understand. There was a moment when I was sure I had won. I remember it with embarrassing clarity. I was standing in a new house, keys still cold in my hand. The floors were spotless, the walls were empty, waiting to be filled with the life I promised myself we'd finally have. I had just secured a position people envied, the kind that makes relatives straighten their backs when they say your name. I remember looking around and feeling relief instead of joy. Relief that I had proven something, relief that I could finally stop running. I thought, this is it. I've reached the top. I believed I had earned rest. I believed I had bought time. What I didn't realize was that I had arrived alone, even though the house was full of people. The wheel never stopped turning, it just changed speed. Mornings blurred into evenings, airports replaced kitchens, phone calls replaced conversations. I lived by calendars and deadlines, always pushing real life into the margins. I kept telling myself the same dangerous sentence. Just a little more. One more year, one more deal, one more promotion. Then I'll slow down. Then I'll be there. Tomorrow became my favorite word. It felt responsible, it felt mature. But tomorrow is a drug. It keeps you functional while it quietly steals your present. I watched my daughter grow through photographs sent by my wife. I learned about her fears and dreams in summaries, not stories. I told myself kids are resilient. They adapt. Families understand. That was another lie dressed up as wisdom. Routine became my hiding place. Wake up tired, work through meals, come home drained, fall asleep believing exhaustion was proof of love. On weekends, I was physically present but mentally somewhere else, already planning Monday. I thought balance was something you achieved later after you'd earned it. I didn't see that life doesn't wait for your schedule. It fills the space you leave empty with something else. Other voices, other memories, other versions of your family that don't include you. And the scariest part is how normal it all felt. There was no alarm, no warning, just a slow rearranging of priorities until the people I loved learned how to live without my attention. I truly believed tomorrow was guaranteed, that health would hold, that relationships were elastic, that love could be paused and resumed without damage. I didn't understand that time is not a savings account. You can't stockpile it. You spend it as you go, whether you notice or not. And the more you postpone living, the more expensive it becomes. By the time I realized the cost, I had paid it in moments I could never buy back. The moment everything stopped wasn't loud. That's what still confuses me. I expected some kind of explosion, a fight, a diagnosis, a phone call in the night. But it was silence. Heavy, indifferent silence. I came home earlier than usual that day for no heroic reason, just because there was nothing left to prove at the office. The house didn't greet me. No footsteps, no voices, no familiar chaos. Just air that felt unused. I remember standing in the hallway and realizing I didn't know where to put my keys because no one was there to complain about the sound. That's when the clock stopped. Not on the wall. Inside me. I walked into the kitchen and saw the chair, the one Anna used to sit on, swinging her legs while telling me stories I half listened to. The chair was still there, but it looked smaller, out of place, like a prop from a life that had moved on. On the table was an envelope, not addressed to me, just something old, tucked away, forgotten. I shouldn't have opened the drawer beneath it, but I did, and that's where I found it. A folded piece of paper, yellowed at the edges, a child's drawing, crayon lines barely holding together after decades, me and her, a sun in the corner, two stick figures holding hands. On the back, in uneven pencil, words written slowly, carefully, as if they mattered. Daddy will come next time. I sat down hard, the chair scraping against the floor, and I couldn't breathe for a moment. That piece of paper weighed more than every contract I ever signed. That was the second when the truth finally caught me. not like a lesson, like a sentence. I understood that the finish line I had been chasing was a trick. Every time I thought I was close, it moved, and the people I loved weren't standing still, waiting politely. They were living, growing, adjusting to my absence. I had been running toward a future that required them to freeze in place, and they refused. Rightfully so. I realized that day that success is the only race where the prize keeps changing, but the entry fee is always the same: time. And you only find out what you paid when you're too tired to run anymore. I saw my life clearly for the first time, all the just one more year promises, all the missed dinners justified by responsibility, all the moments I thought I could make up later. People don't wait forever. Love doesn't stay fresh in storage. It either breathes or it fades, and I had been suffocating it with good intentions. Sitting there holding that drawing, I understood something that still keeps me awake. The tragedy wasn't that I worked so hard. It was that I believed there would be a moment when I could finally arrive and everything would still be there. That moment doesn't exist. It never did. Money can be rebuilt. Status can be reinvented. Order can be restored with a checklist and a free weekend. Even health sometimes can be negotiated with discipline and pills. But memories cannot be recovered. Moments cannot be replayed. Closeness cannot be reconstructed after it has been neglected for too long. Time is the only currency that never accepts repayment. It only charges interest, and the bill always arrives when you are weakest. I know this now because I'm living like a ghost inside a life that looks complete from the outside. I have everything people chase and none of what they actually need. My daughter is polite with me now. That's the word people don't warn you about. Polite. She calls once a month, sometimes twice if I call first. She asks how my health is. I ask about her work. We exchange updates like neighbors passing in a hallway. She no longer tells me her fears. She no longer tells me what keeps her awake at night. I lost the right to those things slowly, without a fight. There was no moment she declared distance. She simply learned how to live without my attention, and that skill stayed with her. When we sit at the same table, there is space between us that no amount of money can fill. I am her father by history, not by habit. The people I worked with forgot me even faster. 2 weeks after I retired, my emails stopped lighting up. A month later, my name became a reference, not a presence. The company moved on without hesitation. That's not bitterness. That's reality. Institutions do not love you back. They take what you give and replace you when you're done. I spent decades prioritizing people who wouldn't remember my face over people who shared my blood. That mistake echoes louder now than any applause ever did. There is another loss people don't talk about. When you lose closeness with someone who knew you when you were young, you lose a witness. My wife used to remember things I had forgotten about myself, who I was before responsibility hardened me, who I laughed like, what scared me when I pretended nothing did. When that closeness faded, it wasn't just a marriage that changed. It was my access to my own past. No one else remembers me as the man I was becoming. They only know the man I became, and that version is incomplete. This is what it means to become a ghost. You are present but not essential, included but not central, respected but not needed. You watch the people you love live full lives, and you realize you are a chapter they've already finished reading. Not because you were cruel, not because you didn't care, but because you kept postponing your presence, believing it would still matter later. People don't wait forever. Love doesn't pause. It either grows with attention or it adapts without you. And adaptation, once complete, does not reverse. Listen to me carefully now. I'm not talking to a crowd. I'm talking to you. I know you're tired. I know you just got home, or maybe you're still at work pretending you'll leave in 5 minutes. I know you think you need this bonus, this promotion, this extra year of grinding so your family can finally relax. I know you tell yourself you'll call your parents this weekend, that you'll take your kid out next month, that you'll slow down after this busy season ends. I used to say those same sentences. They felt reasonable, responsible. They were lies that sounded like maturity. And here is the part that haunts me at night. There is never a clean moment when life taps you on the shoulder and says, "Now you may live." The work expands, the needs multiply, and the people you love quietly adjust to your absence without making a scene. They stop waiting, they stop expecting, and by the time you notice, they don't need you the way they once did. I am telling you this as a man who reached the end and looked back with terrifying clarity. Close the laptop, not later, not after one more email. Close it now, go home. Or if you're already home, put the phone down and sit next to the person you love without an agenda. Make the call you keep postponing. Not tomorrow, today. Say the awkward thing. Show up even if you're tired and boring and have nothing impressive to offer. Presence is not about being interesting, it's about being there while it still counts. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying abandon responsibility. I'm saying stop confusing responsibility with absence. The world will replace you faster than you think. Your job will survive without your weekends. Your family will not survive without your attention. And once closeness fades, it doesn't come back on command. It returns slowly, if at all, and sometimes it never does. If you're still listening, do me one favor, not for the algorithm, not for popularity. Subscribe, because I don't have many years left and this is everything I learned the hard way. Leave a comment and write the name of the person you will call today. Give me your word, even if it's just between you and me. And if this reached something in you, share it. Not for me, for the person who is right now trading their life for a future that keeps moving away. Don't wait 50 years to understand this, because unlike me, you still have time.